So let's look at what I was kind of extracting from the post array response object. So I'm looking at the weather description, and the other piece that I'm extracting is from this root of sys, and then I want the country. So that was what I was kind of extracting from this piece. Let's go back there and take a look at it once more. So you can see that I had weather and description, and then the post arrays, and I want to extract the node sys, and it has country under that. So, and then I'm storing that, and all that I'm doing is I'm returning it back. And then when I say subscribe, it's basically observables is saying that the notification has come back for the response object, and then you're just displaying it at this point. I'm just console logging it just to see how it looks. So let's see how this looks. I just kind of compiled it, and if I go back here, so there is still a few things that has to happen. Like, I mean, you see that it is initializing this from the constructor to say enter city. So and now even if I do the clear, it's still working, but the get weather is still not working. It doesn't still know where to look for this API. So what we are missing right now is to go into our HTML and then call that get weather. The other thing that I also wanted to show you is that once I built this method out, I am kind of referencing that on in it. So what this method basically is doing is that whenever the page loads for the first time, it's calling this API, and that's how you're seeing this value come in the enter city, because the constructor is initialized, and you see that it's prompting you to enter a city in the text box. So and you have to also be mindful of that every library that you're making use in your app component has to be registered in the app module.ts. So I did add this HTTP client module, which has been referenced in our app component. And also it has to be added in two places, one here in the imports, and then you got to actually import the library from Angular. So these are the few things that you have to keep in mind for it to compile correctly. Let's kind of fix the HTML from here, and then so you can see that I kind of added that method into my click event for get weather, so that it knows that it has to go and execute this method to get the data. So as we have kind of looked at this piece where we have defined the post array as a key value pair object to hold the key value pair object, and then we are kind of looping through to grab all the data from the response object. All this data that comes through, we are kind of capturing that, and then we are kind of storing them, and then we want to pick a few of them and kind of display it on the screen. So we are looking for the city weather and then the country. We are also kind of displaying them just to, for debugging purpose, and you can remove them later on your console log to see how the data looks. And then the same thing with once the response object comes back, we want to look at how the data looks, and then we need to go back into our HTML and then kind of build the data for country and city so that you can display that on the screen. So that's the piece that's remaining. And also we'll talk about how we want to handle the error. So what happens is, in the first time when we're loading this page, it's going to go and hit this, because it's going to go call this method, and then it's going to go hit this API, and it doesn't find the city, so it's going to complain saying that it's a 404. So we need to also handle that here, which we would do shortly. So let's go take a look to see how this looks at this point. Like, as you see that, you can see that it gives a 404 because it doesn't know what is the city. There's no name called enter city. So say let's go and enter, say Houston or something, right? And see how the data looks. And if I hit get weather, there you go. So you can see that the data is coming into our network log, and we can just go and extract whatever we were deciding to kind of extract from here. So we want to extract the country, and then we want to also extract the description. So all that data is here, and we just want to bring it onto the screen and show it here. So that's the piece that's remaining, and also how we want to handle this error. Okay, so let's so now let's do the error piece. So let's build the error logic for this. So I'm just going to do error, and let's do the callback function, and let's say console dot error. So I'm just going to display it to say that you know, city not found, right? And then also have the city dot weather, which you will know what I'm trying to do in a few minutes when I build this. So I'll explain this to you. This dot error message. So I don't think so I have this defined yet. So let's go and define that here. Error message, and put string, and that should take care of that. I don't see that error anymore. So let's go into my HTML and then start extracting and displaying our city and country. So let's do this. And this is an Angular directive that you would have to look it up. This course is not going to show you what that is. So bear with me. I will show you some documentation around it so that you can just read up a little bit and understand what it is. It's not too complicated once you kind of understand why this is used. So error message. So I'm doing an if-else condition here. So bear with my typo here, ng else error message, and then I close that. And let's get this out here, and then let's do a break. And then now I'm kind of going to introduce this thing called status on the page. So, and then I'm going to say, let's extract out. This is the binding that we talked about. So we're just going to do a one-way binding to get the data, which is the city weather, right? So let's do that. And then, so we did the if condition. So if you guys want some understanding about it, you can look at it in Angular. So it's going to say an if condition, and then you can do your else part of it, right? So that's what I'm doing here. And something similar for your ng template. What is a template directive? You can kind of get that information here. It's also used in the if-else condition. Templates, Angular uses template under the hood, but you can also explicitly specify templates and use it in your if-else condition, because you could have something that is done within your Angular under the hood template, but then you want to handle something else outside of it, and that's where you use the ng template. So you can kind of read up a little bit on this to understand how the ng template directive is used. So you can see here that I've also added an if condition for country. The same thing. If it's a country, I'm just going to display country and here for city weather. And then this is where I'm kind of using the template because if you don't find the city weather, I want it to display an error message. So that's under this tag of Angular template that I have it as an error message. So we can kind of also look at how we want to display the CSS for this, right? So we also want to make sure that it has some kind of, like a danger alert kind of a thing that shows that this is what is happening. So I'm going to go into app component and also do the error message for this. So I can say error message. I think that's what I called it. I can go and check. I can have the color first as red, right? Because you want to kind of say, hey, it's danger, something is wrong, kind of a thing, right? So that and image. Font family, right? Red. Oops. Bear with me, guys. I'm kind of it's a little challenging with CSS if you're kind of using some of these that you're not too familiar with. So I'm just going to get this going. Font size, we just say 13 pixel. And then font weight, just make it bold, right? Let's make this bold so that it gives a little bit more of a presence that something is wrong. Line height, okay, 20 pixel, and then let's say there's something called text shadow. You can say 1 pixel on the left, 1 pixel, right? And then you can say RGB. You can do the same. The green, blue, red, 250, 250, and 0.3. Okay. So yeah, just wanted to get this out of the way so that we can kind of look at it and see how it works. So let's go into terminal. Okay, and I'm going to save everything here and then say ng-serve. Okay, so it's going to run that. Let me look at how this looks. So I need to make sure. Yeah, so I can see that it comes back with something called city not found because it's a 404, right? And then if I say London, how does it show? Get weather. Yeah, so it says broken clouds, country is Great Britain. So we can see it coming in through nicely. So the city not found. We should fix this. It should not show Britain. Let's say Houston. Get weather, overcast cloud, country US. What about Beijing? So you can see clear sky. So you can see that the data is coming through, just some minor fix that we need to do to get this going. And if you say test, it just clears, but we also need to clear this. So there's a few minor things that we can clear up, but now you can see that the data is coming back. So that's really cool. Yeah, so you can see all the data coming back, scattered clouds, and it's in US. So perfect. So I just cleaned it up a little more. So when I say clear status, I want it to display enter the city. And then I also want to not show anything for the country. So those are the few things that I cleaned up. Let's kind of go and look at it once more and see how it looks. So if I hit refresh it,